So this was an article that the Hollywood Reporter released, and it's titled, "Is Disney bad at Star Wars? An analysis."
And the answer is yes.
Yeah. This is something mainstream media released. Really odd, actually.
James Hibberd. He's broken ranks. He's a brave man.
It is an odd one. It really is an odd one, actually. Not what I was expecting. I mean, even just the subtitle there: high budgets, scrapped projects, fan backlash. It's been 12 years since Disney bought Star Wars, and its galaxy far, far away arguably has too many broken toys. Sounds like something we would say. Like, what? All of this actually does sound like things we would say.
Holy based fest, Batman.
Yeah, it's an interesting read. So I thought we'd just take a look at some of it and then come to their conclusion. Their conclusion isn't as negative as what we would probably go with. They do, spoiler alert, they lean a little bit more positive than we would, but it's still interesting nonetheless. We see this every now and then from mainstream media. We saw it with Variety once, where they released a big takedown piece of Marvel, and they even revealed that the Blade movie was a complete mess. They confirmed everything we had said for months on end, saying that it is a period piece, that Blade was the fourth lead. It was all about women. Like, why the hell was this thing being made? It was just a complete joke.
It was literally going to be a period piece.
Yeah. But we get this every now and then where mainstream media is like just do everything we do. You're like, what? This is weird. So anyway, it says this: there's an exchange in The Force Awakens when Rey and Finn are fleeing from stormtroopers and searching for a way to escape. Rey spots the legendary Millennium Falcon, declares it looks like garbage, and then quickly reconsiders the garbage will do. Which is amazing to think that that's actually a line, lines and sentiment that they included in the film. That's crazy. Like, it's not even subtext at that point, is it? Like
it's just text.
Yeah, like
plain
it's
text.
So blatant. Increasingly, that's the attitude some fans have about Disney's Star Wars programming. Look, we all know this isn't fantastic anymore, but Star Wars is still Star Wars, and therefore it will do. To be fair, Disney Star Wars shows and movies remain far from space junk. They are shit, actually, but fine. Their titles typically get glowing reviews from critics and generate box office returns and streaming ratings that other studios would envy. But let's take a look. Let's see. So, anyway, it just says, question, blah, blah, blah. Is Disney bad at Star Wars?
Yes.
Let the past die, kill it if you have to. So, after buying Lucasfilm from George Lucas in 2012, Disney relaunched Star Wars with The Force Awakens. Huge hit, massive hit, but then went downhill from there. So, huge money. And it starts to say that here, right? So, The Force Awakens made $2 billion worldwide. Jedi dropped to 1.3. Skywalker made 1 billion. So these are incredible numbers for any film, but they were going the wrong way. When the third entry in your trilogy launching a new franchise sells half the tickets of the first, you probably made a wrong turn somewhere. You don't say. So Rogue One released, earning $1 billion, and then Solo released, making 393. Both had behind-the-scenes drama, loads of reshoots, directors, all over the place. After Rise of Skywalker, Disney paused making big screen Star Wars movies altogether, but continued to announce new films in development. This is quite interesting. What they list here isn't even like half of what they've announced. So the list of well-known writers and directors who have come and gone is comically long. There's more than this. There's much more than this, actually. Rian Johnson, originally enlisted to make a new trilogy. David Benioff and Dan Weiss, also enlisted for a trilogy. Patty Jenkins, Colin Trevorrow, Damon Lindelof, David S. Goyer, Josh Trank, Del Toro, Taika Waititi, Kevin Feige. And there's actually more. There are more people that they've announced for films that just never happened. Some of their projects were confidentially announced as movies that were definitely happening until they weren't, and there are others which were never revealed publicly. If all this seems rather chaotic for a studio that's famously meticulous, well, yes, it does. The charitable read is that Star Wars movies should be very special, and the studio is determined to get them right. A batch of projects are still in the works. James Mangold is developing Dawn of the Jedi feature. Sean Levy's working on an untitled film. Patty Jenkins' Rogue Squadron was resurrected this year. And Lindelof's movie with Daisy Ridley's Rey is now with Sharmina Obaid-Chinoy, and it's uncertain which of these, if any, will be made. Even they're like, if any will be made. Even they're not sure at this point. So even as the studio spat out announcement after announcement on the film side, Disney largely switched its focus to bringing Star Wars to TV for its Disney Plus streaming service. So just breaking that down, like, that's quite crazy that, you know, they're saying all of this, right? Like, I don't want to overtake this segment too much with my yapping, so I just thought I'd stop at each bit. What do you guys think?
You go, Culture.
Oh. You're muted.
Oh, sorry, you're mute.
I don't think. Sorry about that. I don't think any of these films will be made. I don't think anybody at Hollywood Reporter believes any of those films will be made. I don't think that you're going to see the Charmine, Don't Squeeze the Charmine Obaid-Chinoy's film is going to be made. So I don't know that anybody takes any statement coming out of Lucasfilm as something that you can rely on. You can't count on it. It's vaporware, for lack of a better way to say it. Comparing it to, you know, everything you've been told is going to show up. Chaotic is being kind when it comes to Star Wars. But here's the other thing. I think fans are thankful that these things aren't moving forward with any kind of speed. That's what I think. I think that I'm grateful that you're not destroying more Star Wars. Because I don't agree with any Star Wars is good Star Wars. No. That is a detestable position that you cannot support with evidence, especially after we just suffered through the worst television version of Star Wars ever, including the holiday special in Acolyte.
Okay.
I'd forgotten for a moment that had existed.
I'm sorry I made you watch it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I wish you could go back. There's certain moments in history where certain peoples wish they could go back. I think a lot of Southern boys in the Southern States of America wish they could go back to the moment before Pickett's charge at Gettysburg and just live history afresh from that moment. I wish we could go back to the moment when George Lucas sold the rights to of Lucasfilm to Disney. Go back and just somehow say, George, don't do it. Man, don't do it. You've got no idea. You don't understand the timeline that you'll be putting us all on. No, but anyway, imagine I go back to that time, and okay, maybe the prequels have been made, you know, the Jar Jar Binks stuff, but then at that point forward, what they obviously should have done is, you know, obviously don't let someone like Kathleen Kennedy, an ideologue, a feminist ideologue person, have any sort of control. Put it in the hands of someone that obviously knows and genuinely loves that universe. Who's the guy? Like Jon Favreau. Don't people say that some of the first Mandalorian stuff under Fav was quite good, right? If they'd done that with you know, episodes 7, 8, 9, right? It could have been all right, but just as Culture said, or at least was inferring, you know, no one's got any faith anymore that they're capable of making it good. So yeah, we're sort of happy that maybe they'll stop making this stuff because each one's more of a car crash than the last, nearly. Yeah, I for one hope they don't really make any more. I really do, and I love episodes 4, 5, and 6. They're a big part of my childhood, or whatever, you know.
Well, it gets worse. Just as an FYI. If you can imagine that, it does get worse. So they talk about the TV shows, right? So they talk about Jon Favreau with The Mandalorian. So they say Jon Favreau's Mandalorian basically single-handedly made Disney Plus the success that it was when it launched. People liked it, critics and audiences, nominated for an Emmy. And The Mandalorian proved live-action Star Wars TV was possible. And then it went, you know... it failed at season 3. People didn't really like it there. And then they've moved Instead of a 4th season, Disney decided to put The Mandalorian on the big screen again, right? 2026, The Mandalorian and Grogu. And it says, will probably perform well, yet it also looks like Disney spent many years in untold capital struggling to develop a new Star Wars movie, and its best idea was an extra long episode of a TV show. That's brutal from mainstream media. Like, the check must have bounced this week. Like, that's crazy. From The Mandalorian came 2021's The Book of Boba Fett, the spin-off, which is where some problems with the franchise's TV efforts first emerged. So much about this brief effort was weirdly clunky. 2 Mando episodes were just sandwiched into the show. It felt like a band-aid effort to repair a struggling show. Book of Boba Fett was originally a series, not a mini-series, but it was quickly considered concluded. Obi-Wan Kenobi came out. They talk about how it did well, in terms of minutes and things like that. However, there's no current plans for more episodes. Talk about Rogue One. Oh, they say Rogue One, had a huge budget, very well received, some of the best reviewed Star Wars TV there ever is. But it was supposed to be 5 seasons. And then they're like, we'll just push it down to two seasons because not really anyone's watching it, to be fair, which is not good. Talk about Ahsoka getting a 2nd season. And then they say about The Acolyte and that just being a complete, not good. They talk about culture war and all this other kind of nonsense from typical mainstream media perspective. Nothing particularly great there to take a look at. They even say some people that didn't like it were racist. It's like, sure, whatever. Like the minuscule amount probably, but whatever. And they say The Acolyte's not getting a 2nd season. Cancellation has been portrayed by some defenders as baffling, even conspiratorial. But the show's ratings, trend, and reception point to a pragmatic decision on the studio's part. And then they talk about Skeleton Crew. No one really cares about that. But then this. So that's 6 live action shows in 5 years, and only 1, The Mandalorian, has been a hit and has multi-seasons. Out of 6 live action shows in 5 years, only 1 of them has had a 2nd season. That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's actually crazy to think. Star Wars. That's how bad Star Wars is.
Yeah.
That is
when you
insane.
put it like that in those terms. Yeah. How are they still doing it? How is it possible? Right. Yeah.
Really bad. Really, really bad. Now, they also make one last point about... They talk about Kathleen Kennedy, but they just praise her. There's not really any point taking a look at that, to be fair, because it's a bit worthless. But say, on the parks front...
Sorry, just real quick, Nate. Am I wrong to think that, though, that she is ultimately responsible?
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%.
Right,
100% she is.
Right.
Yeah. But for whatever reason, I mean, how has she still got a job? Why is mainstream media not taking her down? Who knows? She's got skeletons in the closet. She knows where they're hidden. She must do. But they say this, on the parks front, the company doesn't publicly release its attendance numbers for each land. So it's tough to clock exactly how Star Wars Land Galaxy's Edge is faring at Disneylands across the plant. The company's 3rd quarter investor report stated the attraction remains one of the most popular in the park and ranks number 1 in guest satisfaction. They sold 1.2 million lightsabers. But in 2023, the company's infamous Star Wars interactive hotel experience, Galactic Star Cruiser, which reportedly cost $1 billion, spectacularly just blew up. It didn't blow up, but like no one went to it. So it cost $1 billion and they shut it down after 1 year. Did you know about this, Bo?
So what is that thing then? I didn't know about it. Galaxy's
Did you know
Edge.
that? Oh, mate. Oh, I'm so surprised. That would have been great for the Lotus Eaters. Disney
what was it?
Made an interactive hotel experience, right? So you go and stay in this hotel that's all themed around Star Wars. It's a Galactic Star Cruiser.
Right.
They had rooms that looked like prisons, legitimately just looked like an actual prison.
All right.
And it was insanely expensive, as in to go there.
Right.
I think the cheapest was like $5,000 for like 2 nights or something like that. It's really, really stupid. Like actually insane. What? One of the drinks was like $1,000 or something like that as well. It was astronomical numbers, right? And people in the chat will correct me, but it was just insane numbers. And then what happened was they spent $1 billion making this thing. And then after a year, they just shut it down. Just shut it down.
Well, because it was a flop. No one went.
Yeah,
Wow.
because the attraction didn't change. The attraction was all based around the new Star Wars characters, not the ones which people actually liked.
All right.
And
Yeah, I do remember. Yeah.
It was just
No,
one thing. Like, so if you'd been there and
Mm.
seen it, you'd seen it
Mm.
already. It wasn't going to change each. There was no seasonal changes. It was just one thing. That's it. Done. What a dumb experience to do. What a dumb idea. $1 billion shut down within a year.
The amount of money, I know I sound like a broken record. I say it too much, but just even $1 billion, $1 billion, the amount of good that could be done in the world with that, right? Like, if Disney donated that to sort of hospices or for sort of child dialysis machines or something,
Mm.
right? It breaks my heart to think what could, what a waste. What a disgusting, sickening waste.
Oh, is this the trailer?
The people responsible for that.
I got no sound. Who's shared
mad.
this?
What? Sorry.
It's my fault. It's because I shared the window and not the tab. It's because it's not.
Oh,
in
mate,
the tab.
share the thing properly.
All right. Okay. All right.
Share the thing properly. You've got to watch this, Bo. You have not endured what we have. You have not seen what I
You've
have
not
seen.
seen what we've seen. Yeah.
Oh my god!
Hang
Oh,
on,
we're getting a live reaction, guys. We're going to get a live reaction of Bo.
I'm going to end with like a 10,000 yard stare, like I've seen too much
The
combat.
Galactic Star Cruiser nonsense. Goodness me, it's very, very funny.
Okay, I'm getting there. Hang on.
Well, just to round out this before we get to that trailer, anyway. After all of that, after listening to all of this, Hollywood Reporter was like, "Is Disney bad at Star Wars?" On balance, no.
Oh gosh,
that's wrong. They are.
they're terrible.
But then they say, "Here's the other question: Could Disney be better at Star Wars?" Yes. So they're bad at it, then, aren't they? But anyway, let's watch this. Let's watch this.
I don't know if you're going to get struck for this or in trouble, so don't be mad at me.
Okay.
So you.
Hey, Aunt Morrow.
Hello there.
I'm super excited to see what you and your team created.
We cannot wait to have you aboard because Star Wars Galactic Star Cruiser is a first of its kind vacation experience where you.
What?
The physiognomy checks out.
Oh yeah, I should probably.
It's exactly what you expect them to sound like as well. When you look at them, you're like, yeah, you're going to sound like this.
Yeah,
that's your mannerisms. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, a lot of soy.
Yeah.
To spend 2 days and 2 nights living out your very own Star Wars
story.
We
should probably talk over it too because of the music.
We gotta go inside.
Yeah.
Oh, the Goldbergs.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, amazing. That's the bridge.
Fast forward a little bit.
Wow.
Look at this cheap shit. Look at this. Look what.
I mean, if it didn't cost loads and loads of money.
But we've really focused on making sure we have some of the best entertainment in the galaxy.
Yeah, here's some of the entertainment. Here we go. Come on, go in there.
What is this? That's an advert. Oh my god.
It's an advertisement in the advertisement.
What's going on? I just popped through that door and I have no idea.
Uh-oh. Watch out.
Look above and see.
Oh my god. Yeah, we can fast forward this crap. This is legit what they had going on. Like, no one wants to. No. What is it? No child wants to go to this.
Yeah. I'm thinking that.
Because, well, in the trailer there is no children. They're all adults. Who's it for?
You can imagine Bob Iger. I want the kid off Goldbergs on it. Fetch me the kid off Goldbergs.
Oh,
yeah, that looks well shit. Yeah, like you don't want to spend 2 nights there, and certainly not spend a load of money on it. If it was just
honestly,
a bit of the park that you could walk in, or if it was just like a bar area or something. But yeah, 2 nights and it costs thousands of dollars.
I've even got like a welcome message, like a preparation message somewhere tucked away from like when you actually book your trip, they send you a digital message through email so you can feel like you're receiving your invitation to get on the ship and everything. It's crazy.
So just to
They
break it down
tried
for you,
really
Bo,
hard.
right?
Yeah.
For a cabin for 2 people started at $4,809, right? That's just for 2 nights.
Okay.
Cabin for 3 people, which was the same cabin but with like a pull-out bed, $5,299. Room for 3 adults and 1 child, $5,999. So $6,000 for 3 adults and 1 child, which is a weird setup anyway. Grand Captain's Suite. Do you know how much that cost? Guess.
$6 grand.
20 grand.
Whoa! Oh. What?
Oh, mate, it's done. And they shut that down in a year. In a year, they shut that down. Cost $1 billion to shut it down. Anyway, that's the segment. Star Wars mainstream media turns on them, I guess. Any other thoughts on this bizarre nonsense?
Yeah, no, good. I'm glad that someone in the mainstream media's actually got some balls. I don't know if Elon has given him a little bung, give him a little bit of money behind the scenes. Dunk on Bob Iger's stuff for me, real quick. But yeah, no, good. It needs to. In the end, reality catches up with you, doesn't it? Eventually, nearly always.
Yeah. Nothing, no culture, no, you're good. Yeah.
I mean, my thoughts on this are, is Star Wars did Disney kill Star Wars? Yes. Should Disney do more Star Wars? No. Should Disney sell Star Wars to somebody who cares about it? Yes. Or just give it to them. I mean, honestly, if you give me Star Wars, I'll make better Star Wars than you've made. We'll go back to practical effects and things that people can enjoy and locations and, not doing things in a volume. And, I'm just saying, I would make money with Star Wars, and I would make money on Star Wars merch, and I would make money on a Star Wars park. And I just, ad infinitum. They, at every single step along the way, they have taken the wrong path from their theme park offerings and that hotel and every show that they've put forward and the Rey trilogy of badness and the potential 10th film that is going to be more terrible Rey. No, thank you. No, thank you.
But a comment from Daniel John says, what's Disney's end game with Star Wars? Are they seeing problems? Yeah, I think they're seeing problems. They're trying to make money, but they're just failing massively. Ideologues, creatively.